Hey folks, it's your friend Dave Cameo, host of Squawking Dead. I'm recording this part of the video on August 17th. We originally recorded this interview a few months back during the camp's Memorial Day event, not knowing when Anthony's TWD series finale event would take place. Not long after finding out the actual date for the Walking Dead series finale, during our San Diego Comic-Con news livestream coverage, I went on a long overdue vacation and just returned late last night, which means I didn't have a chance to actually publish this video before I left. But now that I'm back, we not only bring you this interview, but that we'll be sharing the stage with our friends Beauty and the Beasts, emceeing this event and helping out in all sorts of technical ways that we will be revealing over time. As explained in this interview, the event will be taking place in Covington, Georgia, but what wasn't mentioned in this video was the actual date, which is the same date as the Walking Dead's series finale, November 20th. Even though this event is at capacity, you can still get on the waiting list as people will drop out due to all sorts of circumstances, whether it's actually being able to make it, actually being able to afford to go. So be sure to follow That's My Viewing Party on Instagram, That's My TWD Party on Twitter, and the That's My Viewing Party Facebook group as well to get all the information on how to get on the waiting list, any news that's going to be coming out, and ways to actually even possibly watch this event live, as I'll be heavily involved in trying to make that happen for you guys. All the links to these social media accounts and the Facebook group page will be available in the description for this episode. And without further ado, I humbly bring you our interview with Anthony Collins discussing That's My Viewing Party, the Walking Dead series finale watch party. Enjoy.
Walking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh, but most times we go deep. And I'm here today with Anthony Collins, primarily background walker extraordinaire, who you don't get to see his face very often because he's purposefully kept it hidden from everybody. But you're going to get a chance to see it very soon at the TWD viewing party, the series finale viewing party that he's throwing in Savannah, Georgia. Anthony Collins, thank you so much for showing up.
I appreciate it, man. I love the show. I love watching it.
It's our show.
Oh yeah, your show.
Also.
No, your show. No, actually, yeah. Who cares about The Walking Dead? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, I mean, I love it because y'all hit on so many things from The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Better Call Saul. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm so appreciative also, Anthony, of you jumping in on the chat during the premiere. It's awesome. Thank you.
I like it because I had to say this, I'm afraid sometimes what to say because I'm thinking, okay, not a lot of people have AMC Plus, but I know that y'all do the show before it airs. Mm-hmm. But I thought I'm the only one who thinks outside the box, but you totally blew me away on last week's episode. Totally blew. I mean, what? Because when I watched it, I'm going, "Oh, I'm so mad at you."
I'm sorry.
No, but you get on it.
We went too deep. We got to pull back for Anthony.
No, don't pull back.
Don't pull back.
But I appreciate you having me on, and the reason I'm on is to talk about the viewing party that we're going to have. So basically, what we're waiting on is we're waiting on AMC to announce when they're coming back. So if you go on what they've done in the past, they try to get it around October. Well, being the very last show, you would think they're going to try to end it as close as they can to Halloween weekend, because that's when it debuted.
I would think. I would
hope
yeah.
so. So, if I did the math right, in order to do that, they would have to come back by August 13th, maybe 16th, in order for it to be the 23rd of October or the 30th, which are the two last Sundays in October. But I have to say this thing is absolutely free. Free. If you want to attend, come on. We got plenty of room, plenty of food, plenty of beverages. We've been blessed with our sponsors. Coca-Cola. Everybody drinks Coke, hopefully. They have been gracious enough to provide enough beverages for 500 people. 500 people. Kroger. If you live in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, you know what a Kroger is. Kroger is going to provide all the snacks, cookies, cheese trays, meat trays, anything you can think of as far as snacks.
Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to have finger foods.
Oh, this is the other sponsor. This is the other sponsor.
Yeah, other sponsor. PFG, which is mostly a restaurant supplier.
Okay.
So we're getting jalapeno poppers, mozzarella sticks, chicken tenders. We're going to work on some wings. This stuff is absolutely free. And when I say free, if you're a vendor and you're going to be in Covington in October, come on down. Free vendor space for all of y'all.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then if we really, really get it, Squawking Dead's going to be there doing a live podcast. You can go on in the venue and tweet a question or Instagram a question. And you know what? They may even come to you and call on you.
That's right.
It's going to be amazing.
I mean, I'm already thinking about like what's going to happen during the commercial breaks. You know, who we're going to pull, who we're going to raise hands. What do you think of this moment? What do you think of that moment? How do you guys feel about the beginning of the end? Everybody starts crying.
Oh yeah, and if I have it my way and y'all want to, if you can imagine the screen, and the screen comes down so far, y'all are going to be right up under that screen.
Oh,
Kind of like a Q&A for like a movie premiere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what the way it's going to be. It's going to be so much fun. And at first, I was going, you know what? We're just going to have a viewing party, few of my friends. I said, you know what? Let's make it for everybody. Could you just imagine everybody who's a fan who can't go somewhere else to see a viewing party, be there? And just, I mean, where else to be? Among friends and family, and then have vendors out there. We can probably start around like maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon, go all the way up to the viewing of the show, move from one area and go sit down where there's not a bad seat in the house. I've been blessed by the school that I work with as an athletic trainer. They go, Anthony, if you want the gymnasium for that day or a couple of days, it's all yours. So we have a full-blown gymnasium, basketball court, bleachers, if you want to sit in the bleachers, but I'm going to have round tables on the floor. And I think what we're going to do is each table that we have will be like a location that happened in The Walking Dead.
I see.
So if you can imagine Hilltop.
Right, you're in Table Hilltop.
Table Hilltop.
You're in Table...
Terminus. Yeah. I mean, all of them. And what
lots of
I'm
wins.
thinking, and maybe y'all get a part of this, regardless of what table you sit at, once you sit at that table, that will be your trivia team.
Oh, shit.
Oh, trivia.
Yeah.
Oh, he just keeps sweetening the pot.
Right, it keeps...
But who can think of better questions or hard questions to ask than you guys? Coppola wine, which is Francis Ford Coppola. Have you ever had his wine?
It's good stuff. It's
Yes.
good stuff, yeah.
They're donating probably about 6 cases of wine.
Wow.
They're going to have somebody there actually pouring the wine for us.
That's awesome.
And they'll have like information of what wine you're drinking that night and where you can buy it, but you can buy it at any grocery store or any liquor store. And then it's going to be a semi-all-day event. Come, shop around, do some other things. You're just 3 miles away from Covington, Georgia, where they film a lot of good shows.
Yeah.
So if you want to ride up there for a few hours and come back down for the viewing party, it's going to be fun. And it just gives the Walking Dead family and fans another place for the very last episode.
Yeah.
And we're going to do trivia with y'all. It's going to be so much fun.
Which I love, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon D and Rachel are trivia masters in their own right. So,
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure they told me they have like a stack of questions that have been unused for other games.
Really?
So they've definitely got stuff ready already. Yeah. So.
I realize how big the Walking Dead fan base is. I tweeted a question which I thought was just, and the question was simply what did Glenn do before the apocalypse? Yeah. And if you are familiar with how Twitter works and the impressions, 297,000 impressions.
Damn.
Just for that, from that one little question.
Pizza delivery driver.
I answered the same. I answered it too.
It was a simple question, and then you try to go, okay, let me top it. Nothing's going to top that one. Yeah, you can. I asked, what person's death was the most traumatic to you, and you would be surprised. And the number one, if I calculated, the number one was Beth.
Really?
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
I
actually.
thought people would say Glenn or Abraham, but
Wait, don't most people think Beth is still alive?
Stop it, Dave.
Don't they?
Stop it.
listen.
I'm very appreciative. One, that you watched it in the first place.
I watched it.
Two, that you were in the chat. But three, on top of that you're so complimentary towards us about it. I'm very appreciative.
It's a great show, and it's how you listen to people, and you don't actually shoot down their thoughts or their opinions. Right. And a lot of other shows do that, and I don't want no part of that, because I think everybody's opinion is valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there watching.
That's what I always say.
It is. That's why the show is so good.
You shared with us that you were a walker.
I was.
Quite a prominent walker on The Walking Dead.
Yes.
And it's a big one. And you have said you were going to share that information later, so you could tell us a little bit about how you're going to share that with everybody.
So if you come to the viewing party, everybody that comes will get kind of badges that you get at Pandemic or Walker Stalker, a little commemorative badge. On that badge is my picture. And I am so proud to say I've never shared it on social media. And I was telling you earlier when we were getting all mic'd up that, sometimes you got to sign a non-disclosure agreement that you won't post something before the show. Well, I posted something that had nothing to do with anything, and the casting reached out to me and go, you got to take that down, Anthony. So after that point, I never wanted to burn my bridge with them, because I actually love the people who cast for The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They're amazing people. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to wait, and when the show ends, I'll do it. I'm that kind of person. So, but when you come in, you'll get the badge, and on that is my picture, and I'm going to sign it if you want me to. But you will be able to tell, because I did show you.
You can tell. It's a good one. I promise you, it's a good one. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever seen that picture on social media?
No.
There you go.
No, I haven't. But
okay. I think if you try to Google it, I don't think it even comes up.
I don't think so. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, that one. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Recognizable, definitely. So that's an exciting.
And that's the thing about it is.
That's an exciting little touch that you're adding, which is really cool.
I just want people to know, especially people who watch this show, who are big fans, that this, when I say it's free, other than if you want to buy a souvenir from somebody who's a vendor there, to come and watch this show and sit down and do trivia. I mean, everything is being donated.
Right.
So, I mean, I am blessed to have these sponsors, and I'm truly blessed to have the people who want to come, who I've worked with and hung out with at conventions and just been around, like you guys.
Well, we're so appreciative you would even ask us. Yeah, it's so kind.
If I'm going to watch something and I enjoy it, and I can see your fans enjoy it, I want y'all there. Excitement builds excitement, and I have no doubt that it will probably be one of your best. I mean, I'm not saying the best, but it's going to be a good one. And let y'all do trivia, whatever y'all want to do. During commercials, before the show, after the show. After the show, you can do a Q&A for people. How do you feel? I mean, because I think there's going to be
some big emotions that night.
I think so. And, I've reached out to a few of the actors on the show, and I said, hey, just want you to know, I want you to come as a friend. You don't have to sign autographs. You don't have to take selfies. If you want to, great. But you don't have to sit at a booth. I want you to come as my friend and somebody that I've worked with.
Yeah.
Because not only did I do The Walking Dead, but I've done Heroes and Villains, Walker Stalker. I've worked with Jason Momoa on Red Road. And my first Heroes and Villains I'm walking to the thing, and he says, "Anthony, get over here. You're going to work my booth for me." Because if you've ever met Jason, he's a quirky person.
I have not had the pleasure, but I'm
He
sure
is the most
seems very
down-to-earth
nice.
person, but his threshold for ignorance is very low.
Me too.
But, and Josh McDermott, and I did Norman Regis's booth one year, and I worked Paula's booth at Pandemic, and Paula is the most amazing person ever.
Yeah, Paula, she's super nice.
Sweetheart. She's got a smile on her face all the time, and she's super friendly. I love her to death. Greatest person in the world. As soon as AMC announces when they're coming back, if you can, follow me on Twitter. It's That's My Anthony. And then I am on Instagram. It's That's My Anthony also. And then that will have a link to That's My Viewing Party. Follow those. Follow me on those. And then I'll do updates. And then once everything's announced, I'm going to create a thing where you can go up and tell me how many people you want to bring. I'll create a list, and then you'll be on the list. Come in, you get your badge. Big, giant banner where you can have your picture taken with a red carpet, professional picture that you can take with you and go home.
That's awesome.
Sit down, eat food, drink wine, Coca-Cola, snacks, and just have not a bad seat in the house.
So how many seats are available?
Right now, I can hold up to 1,074 people. I'm estimating anywhere between 200 and 300 people.
Okay.
So if you can imagine a round table that can sit 10 people.
Sure.
So you'll have a table here, a table here, a table here, and in between that table, the next row will be a table here. So no obstruction. You're not looking over somebody's head. Okay. The screen is elevated just a little bit on top of the stage. The screen, if I remember correctly, is probably about a 9-foot by 12-foot screen.
Wow. Okay.
And there's a stage also?
Yeah, there's an uplift. And what I want in a perfect world is the screen comes down, but there's enough room where
our heads can peek out.
y'all can have a table up under the screen.
That would be great.
All right.
That would be
and
great.
like before the show, during commercials, get fan interaction, and then go back to watching the show. But it's going to be super cool.
That'd be awesome.
Lots of room. There's going to be a hotel that's probably about 4 to 5 minutes away. If I work everything out right, the Hampton Inn in Covington, Georgia, off of Hazelbrand Road, will have special rates if you want to come to the party. So October is not a good month for
tourism.
Yeah. So they're going to work a rate for us. And then 3 minutes away is downtown Covington, where they've done the originals, they've done Vampire Diaries, there's tours.
Wow,
so
okay.
you can make a weekend of it. And I'm hoping that they're going to announce that they're coming back in August, which will put it around October 23rd or October 30th, which are the last Sundays of October.
Yes.
Praying. Waiting
We'll
on
see.
AMC.
We'll see what happens.
Yes.
I think the last thing, or at least that I can think of, that I wanted to talk about was the possibility of us doing some charity events as well.
Yeah.
Either before or after, just doing some kind of like a swap meet sort of situation where we can get your Walking Dead memorabilia, or other, the folks who come in could bring their memorabilia that they feel, they're loved enough, but maybe they're good for somebody else to love, let's say.
Or if you're like Renee and myself, you might just buy duplicates
Renee.
of everything accidentally because you just keep buying stuff. So.
Duplicates upon duplicates. So what we do is we would get everybody in a live auction to put their stuff on a table, let's say, and then we can hawk it for a either direct action to help a particular TW family member out or members. And if we raise enough money, we can split it along the lines based on need, or we can find a charity. But I prefer mostly trying to give to our Walking Dead family directly per need. We hold each other accountable. We vouch for one another depending on need. So that's what we've been trying to do, and so we can try to figure out something where we can make this like not only a free event, but an event where we can help a lot of people in the Walking Dead family.
And that would be amazing. I touched out to you. I think what you did for that fan to come here was absolutely amazing. Most people just think of themselves and for what you did. And for those who don't know what he did, he had bought a room, didn't need it because he came here, and he gave that room along with some tickets to come here so that a fan who didn't have the financial means to come. And I thought that was amazing. When you did that, I reached out to one of my sponsors, and that sponsor wanted to put $500 towards the next thing that you do.
Right.
And I told you that.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure how we're going to do that, what you want to do, and do that. And it can only snowball from here.
I like snowballs.
Dave gets easily overwhelmed by generosity like that.
We want the event we want it to be fun. And I know a lot of people don't have the money to stay in hotels, then pay for the venue, and then pay for the tickets.
Right.
So that's why, if this thing blows up and I have to reach in my pocket to buy more for it, I'm going to do that. I don't mind doing that. I just want people to have fun.
Well, and if I can help it, we can help out by having the community make this a big thing. Because here's where I'm coming from. As part of what made us do this thing, this podcast, is the idea that not all of us had people to watch the show with.
Right.
So, if it means we can bring most of those people in that might not have otherwise, let's make it happen.
Yep.
You know, so if you need help, reach out to the Squawking Dead team, the charity team.
Yes.
And then we'll make that part of the thing. Like, we can make it so that we can reach out to people and do like maybe 10 spaces where we can get people to donate money to basically block off some rooms for those people.
Right.
At least to get because lodging is tough. It's a big expense. Flights are tough too, but those are harder to wrangle. But if we can get lodgings, they figure out how to get here, they'll get here, they'll have a place to stay, then they just walk on over or get some ride shares or whatever they're going to do to get to the venue. They're set.
Oh yeah, and plenty of parking. Matter of fact, the Survive the Night reached out to me yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And we have an entire football field. So Survive the Night wants to do something. I'm glad that you said that.
Okay, well, I just did survive the night, which is why I am so red and sweaty. It is quite the experience, but it's very fun. It's like laser tag, but you're fighting walkers, and it's awesome. So that's great.
And I said, listen, you have football field's 100 yards.
Yeah.
So imagine that at dusk before the show, you work up an appetite doing Survive the Night, work up an appetite, come in. It's going to be cool, so you probably won't sweat. But the good thing about it is October is not a good month for hotels because not a lot of people are traveling because you got Thanksgiving coming up, you got Christmas coming up. So the hotel is going to have some great rooms at a good discount.
Okay.
So they're going to be more willing to work with us in October than they would in like the summertime.
Sure, that makes sense.
Especially Covington because it's becoming a big area for tourism because they have tours down there now. They pick you up on a trolley and they take you around Covington into where the Dukes of Hazzard, the Heat of the Night, Originals,
Ooh.
Vampire Diaries, the new one with Sweet Magnolia.
Sweet Magnolia?
I love that show. So
And it's
that's
filmed
awesome.
there.
That's
yeah,
fun.
it's filmed there too. And there's a couple of studios up the road that you can't drive into, but you can drive by and see different things. Like if you ever watched the Originals, where the cemetery was, you can actually drive by the studio and actually see it because it's off the set. And you can see it. And I'll be more than happy to share those things.
Oh, that's fun.
Because, I started off as background, and I did a few things for background, and I did a thing for Red Road, and then Ozark, and stuff like that. And then I got into just print advertising for commercials, and I do strictly that now.
Wow.
So I actually love it. I love my job. I love doing what I do. I work as an athletic trainer for a high school.
Is there any way that you could share with us how you ended up getting into The Walking Dead in the first place?
So ECA, who does the background and the walkers for AMC, they had reached out to me because I had sent them some information about me, some headshots, and so they go, "Hey, are you available for Red Road?" which had Martin Henderson and Jason Momoa. So I played a cop on that, and then that turned in, "Hey, can you come back tomorrow to play cop?" And then that turned in, "Hey, we want you back tomorrow." And then they gave me a character name. So if you watch the Red Road season 1, I'm Officer H. Hibbs in that show. And every time you see the lead character, you see me and him giving me orders to do, and I'm doing these things. And we got to the very last episode of season 1. You go, "Anthony, we're gonna have to kill you off."
Oh.
So I get shot by Tom Sizemore in the very last episode of season 1.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was, but they actually gave me my start, and then I just kept on submitting for The Walking Dead. And the thing about it, and as anybody who can tell you who's been on The Walking Dead and who is submitted to be on The Walking Dead, the posts go up so quickly and they're down so quickly. And unless you know what you're doing and you look for the particular email to send your stuff in, we're talking within 30 minutes. And it's done. And she actually reached out to me and she goes, "Anthony, we need somebody and we think you'll be perfect for this." And I went down there and I thought, okay, there was other people there, and I said, I have no chance. And I went home and they said, "Hey, we want you to come back." And they didn't tell me what I was going to do. And then all suddenly I'm in a makeup trailer. Surprise. And the rest is history. And I had so much fun.
That's great.
I kept on having to pinch myself. Is this true? And then I kept on saying, okay, how? Because they take your phone away from you when you get to set.
Yeah.
They literally take your phone, they put a sticker over your phone, over the lens itself, and then it goes into an envelope with your name, and it's put into like this case that this person carries around. Okay, they've got more relaxed now for what I hear, but you were not able to take like a selfie of yourself. So the way that I was have to do mine, I had to pause the screen.
That's me.
And then I was able to pause it, and because I have a smart TV, I was able to email it to myself and get that. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to post it, because one person posts a picture, and that gives you an idea of you have to watch out what you post, because it spreads like wildfire. And I just said to myself, you know what, I'm going to wait. And since then, stuff that I've done, either people have screenshot and go, "Hey man, is this you?" I went, "Oh yeah, that's me, I did that, I forgot about it." And I got a phone call. I never told my daughter one time that I did Rampage, and I had totally forgot that I did it.
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
And The Rock. And so suddenly I get a phone call. I'm going, "What?" She's inside the movie theater. She goes, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "What are you?" She goes, "I went, what are you talking about?" She goes, "I just saw you." So later on that night, they come home, and all of a sudden my daughter tells me that they're in the movie theater. It's quiet, and the scene that I'm in, I come in, and my daughter really yells really loud. She goes, "That's my dad!" Really loud in the movie theater.
She should have said, "That's my Anthony."
That's a good one.
Right?
Thank you for sharing all of the information about the viewing party,
and
and for sharing your story. We appreciate that.
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate that so much. And again, I want you there. I want y'all there. And I appreciate you having time and having me on.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And please follow Anthony at That's My Anthony on Twitter and Instagram, and That's My Viewing Party on Instagram as well for updates on the viewing party.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll be reposting some of that. So
Thank you.
how about that?
So follow us too, you
Yeah,
jerks.
Please. And hey, enable notifications, y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
You're going to want to know what's going on. Thanks for watching.